Am I the a-hole for ruining my brother's childhood memory by admitting I photoshopped it 14 years ago? When my younger brother, who's 20 now, was 6, he went through a huge Harry Potter phase. He loved the wizarding world and believed he might meet Harry Potter or the other characters on a family trip to Scotland since Hogwarts was there. No one promised him this, but he convinced himself it could happen. Sadly, the trip was cancelled after our grandpa passed away, and my brother was devastated for both reasons. To cheer him up, I decided to craft a souvenir. I was 16 and had just discovered Photoshop, so I edited a picture of my brother with Daniel Radcliffe to make it look like they'd met. I printed it, framed it, and gave it to him without telling him it was fake. He loved it and fully believed he'd met Daniel. Soon he had an entire story about the meeting, what they talked about, how Daniel hugged him, etc. It was so sweet, and none of us, my family and I, had the heart to tell him the truth. One of the funniest experiences I had with Photoshop was asking my girlfriend to take out a booger that I had in like my left nostril. And me and her had taken a picture together. And I was like, hey, could you edit that booger out of my nose? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. She spends like maybe 5 minutes on it or whatever. And she shows me the picture and she added another booger to my other nostril. I was crying laughing because I didn't expect it. But anyways, fast forward 14 years and my brother still didn't know that the old low quality picture of him meeting Daniel Radcliffe is fake. I never told him because his memory of the fake meeting felt so real to him that it became one of his proudest stories. Over time, the memory became less important and the framed picture had been packed away in some box, and my brother has long outgrown his Harry Potter obsession. Yesterday, however, we were at our parents' home and we were bringing up old memories. You know how it goes. The story of Daniel Radcliffe came up, and thinking it was harmless, I told him the truth. I thought he'd laugh, but instead he got visibly upset. He didn't want to believe me at first, thinking I was messing with him. I told him the real story of how and why I did it. He told me that it feels like I robbed him of a childhood memory that he really cherished, and he feels embarrassed thinking about all the times he's told people about meeting Daniel Radcliffe in person, even recently. We ended our conversation on a semi-good note though. I apologize for not telling him sooner because I do feel bad that it meant so much to him even now. But I don't regret it. Back then it made him so happy during a rough time, and I don't regret giving him that joy. I just didn't realize how much it still meant to him. So I'm just wondering, am I the a-hole? I think what you did for him in the moment was really kind, helped him get through a rough time. It's kind of like Santa Claus. You tell kids, oh yeah, Santa Claus is real, just give them a little bit of hope and happiness. And then later on in the future, you just rip off the band-aid that, oh, you know, Santa's not real. So you kind of did this to him with Daniel Radcliffe. But in my opinion, I think you kind of did him a favor. It didn't sound like you had any bad intentions back then, and it still doesn't sound like you had any bad intentions now. So no, I don't think you're the a-hole.